Okay, well, welcome everyone. My name is Robin De Leon. I want to thank you for being at this presentation today for Education USA. And we're going to be talking a little bit about how to prepare for your undergraduate studies abroad, specifically in the USA. I will try to answer as many questions as possible on how you can study in the USA and how you can better prepare to study in the USA. Once again, I'm Robin De Leon. I'm Education USA advisor. I work in Guatemala, and I'll share with you some of my information. The next slide, you can see on the welcome page, I'm Robin De Leon, I'm from Guatemala, and I'm Education USA advisor. As many of you want to study in the USA, I also did once in my life. I went to University of North Alabama. This one is in Florence, Alabama, in 2009. My major is social communications. You can also see on the screen that there is a flag of Guatemala. We are located in Central America, and we're really close to the United States. As many of you want to study in the USA, also in Guatemala, students want to go to the USA, and it's really surprising to see how the students have the same questions when they're trying to get to the USA. I'll be walking through the 5 steps to study in the USA. So I'll try to give you as many information as possible. I also want you guys to keep this information, how to stay in touch. Education USA is present in more than 170 countries. We have more than 400 offices around the world. So if you want to study in the USA, your first step is going into Education USA, and you can ask your Education USA advisor on how to study in the USA. We have offices. We also have Facebook profiles. We have Twitter profiles. And you can use any of those profiles to stay in touch with Education USA. You can also schedule one appointment, or you can also call to the center. You can also call and schedule one appointment to walk in and ask questions. There is a website over here, the Education USA website, educationusa.state.gov. This is the website that is going to help you to link to any advising center in the world. So if you are in Guatemala, but possibly you are in Europe or you are somewhere else, you want to go to educationusa.state.gov, and you can see what is the closest Education USA advising center for you. Just go there, log in, and go for the options, find an advising center, and this one is going to help you. On Facebook and Twitter, we have the accounts. You can look for us as Education USA. Most of the countries have Education USA, and then they have the name of the city or the name of the country. On the specific case for Guatemala, we have Education USA Guatemala, and you can access the Facebook account. Most of the Facebook accounts are accepting inbox. You can send an inbox to Education USA advisor. You can also talk to Education USA over Facebook, over Twitter, over some other social networks, and of course, you can also go to work centers. So I want to welcome everyone. I'll be sharing a lot of information today. This presentation is scheduled to be 1 hour, and I'm going to start right now with the presentation itself. Now, all the information that I'm going to be sharing today can be found on educationusa.state.gov. We have prepared some good materials for undergraduate students. This one is called the 5 Steps to Study in the USA. You can actually access educationusa.state.gov and see all the information. The information is clear, the information is simple, so you won't have any problem going through the 5 steps. And of course, you can always ask Education USA advisors about the 5 steps and how to study in the USA. So all the information is right there. And when you're trying to get to the USA, the process that you're going to take, or the process is going to take 12 up to 18 months. So if you're going to study in the USA, you need to get in your mind that this process is going to take time, approximately 12 to 18 months. So it's going to be up to a year for you to study in the USA. Step number 1 is research your options. Find what school is the best fit for you. Is a large school, is a medium school, or is a small school? Possibly is a German university, is a suburban, or is a rural university? What about the weather? What to do? Student life, athletics? Those are questions that possibly you're going to find that are not very important at the beginning. Possibly you're going to be concerned about the ranking. I want to see what's the ranking for this university. I want to see where on the list the university is, because possibly you want to go to a good university. When you are studying in the USA, you are investing money and you want to make sure that your money is going to pay back. So you have to research a lot of options, but I want to focus on some other stuff. As you can see in here, what is the best fit? I'm going to focus on the best fit right now. Some people compare the best fit as a shoe. When you have your shoe, your shoe has to fit. If it doesn't fit, it's going to be a small shoe and you're not going to feel well. When you're going to be walking on the street, you're going to feel pain, or possibly the shoe is going to be too big, the shoe is going to be loose, and you're not going to feel confident to run. So what's the best fit for the university? Let's say if you like to be surrounded by a lot of people, possibly a large or a medium school may work for you. What if you like to be in small classes? Possibly a small university is going to work for you better than a medium school or large school. You can always go and check how many students the university has. Maybe they have 7,000 students. That will be a medium school. Possibly they have 3,000. This will be like small school. Or possibly it's going to be a huge university. We can mention Ohio State. Ohio State University has over 30,000 students. It's a huge university. They have a large amount of students. You can go and see the university on the website. The university is like a city. So it's like a very big university. And you have to think, am I going to feel comfortable in the university? Am I going to feel good in the university? Am I going to be the only one from my country? Or am I going to be surrounded by several people from my country? You can also check the city setting. It's going to be an urban, it's going to be a suburban, or it's going to be a rural. What we're saying here is, where is the location of the university? We can call a urban university one that is located in Los Angeles. Possibly it's going to be in a big city. You're going to see a lot of traffic, you're going to see cars, you're going to see a bus. You're going to have a lot of shopping malls around you. Possibly you're going to be taking the metro. Is this part of the lifestyle you want to have? Is this part of the things you're going to be doing around? Possibly you're going to Washington, D.C. and you're going to be moving around on the metro. This could be a great idea for you. Possibly you don't like it. You would like to go for a suburban university, which is going to be close by a city, which is going to be different. Possibly it's going to have more green areas. Possibly it's going to have more activities outdoors, and you're also going to be close to a city, or you're going to be close to a shopping mall where you can go on the weekends, where you can go and have fun. What about the rural campus? Possibly you're going to a very small town where you're going to have to travel for 1 hour to go to the shopping mall. It really depends on what you're looking for. If you're going to a urban university, possibly you're into fashion and you're trying to study something like fashion design. Possibly New York City is going to be a right fit for you. But if you're trying to go for agriculture, New York City is not going to be such a good fit, because you would like to be in a rural campus where you're going to have more chance to learn how to produce, let's say, apples or any type of vegetables. Something that I want to highlight in here is the weather. So what do you do with the weather? It's really hot, the city is really cold, like you're used to really cold cities and you want to stay in a cold city. You can go to the northern area of the country. But let's say you like to be in hot places because your country is hot and you want to be in a similar environment. Then you can go to Florida. Florida is going to be really hot and Florida is going to be a right fit for you. What the university has to offer. Is there any opportunities for students to recreate? Is there any opportunity for students to go outside? If you like to practice a sport, if you like to play basketball, if you like to play baseball, if you like to play soccer, football, do they have the facilities to play the sport? Do they have a team? Would you like to play for the school? Would you like to go to the gym and work out sometimes? If you would like to go and practice tennis. So let's say the university has a lot of facilities where you can practice your sports. This one is going to help you a lot. Student life. Do they have a fraternity? Do they have a sorority? So what do the university offers you? The university is going to offer a package where you can go to the gymnasium and practice. The university is going to have activities for students. Do students participate in the local radio news, or the university has like a television station or a radio station, and you want to be part of the radio station because your major is on communications? So what the university offers for student life, they can be part of the community of the radio station. You can also go there and you can practice. And of course, athletics. If you want to practice some sports, and if you would like to play for the university, athletics is going to be a good option. If the university offers you athletics, then you're going to be good practicing, or possibly you like to go and watch sports. You really feel the spirit of the university. You really feel that you're going to be supporting the team. You want to be seeing the people practicing. You want to see people there. You want to go to the matches. So athletics is also going to work as a recreation for you. So try to see if the university offers you all of that. I have 3 pictures in here. I have this one is from Harvard, which is like a really common university. We also have the city of St. Louis in Missouri, and also we have one flyer from the University of Arizona. Those universities are offering you different settings, and also the cities are going to offer you different attractions. So try to consider what's going to be the best fit, considering besides everything we've mentioned here, also what's your major, what do you want to study there. You want to see the university is offering you a good program in let's say communications. If you're going for communications and you want to study for television production, you want to see university is going to offer you a good program where you can prepare. But let's say in case that you are going for a communications major and you want to do radio broadcasting, and the university you're going doesn't really have a radio lab and doesn't really have teachers for radio, then the university will not be the right fit. Education USA doesn't follow the rankings, and we don't do that because rankings are going to take a lot of things into consideration. But we want you to find a university where you're going to spend 4 years and you're going to be completely comfortable with the university. You're going to feel at home, you're going to learn a lot, and you're going to be well prepared to come back to your home country. So this one is the step number 1. So research your options, see what the university is offering you, and once you have chosen your universities, once you have your opportunities, once you have the best schools for you, you have to complete your application. You need to go ahead and access the university website and check the application for international students. For international students, universities are going to ask you for a TOEFL. I have here one picture of a TOEFL. The TOEFL test is one exam that is useful for measuring your English skills. So you can go and you can take the TOEFL. The level of TOEFL is going to change from school to school. I have seen some schools they have a 61 on TOEFL. Some other schools ask for a 74. It can be a 79, this can be an 80, 84, or even this could be 100 on the TOEFL IBT. So it's a good idea to see how much they're asking for when you're applying for university and what's the minimum score that you need to get to apply to that university. Let's say that you try the first time and you don't get like such good score. Let's say you're going for a 79 and you got a 74. Possibly the university can still accept you, but you can also try again and try to improve your scores. They can also ask for the SAT, which is a different exam that universities ask for in the USA. It's always good to see if the university is asking for the SAT, and if you have the SAT, what is the score or the average score that you should get in order to apply. Something really curious about the SAT is that some universities don't require the SAT for admissions, only the TOEFL. But when you're applying for financial aid or when you're applying for scholarship, then they ask for the SAT. So try to take into consideration what are the scores that they're looking for and what exams they're looking for. They may ask for the SAT or they can also ask for the ACT. Letters of recommendation, they're also going to help you. Letters of recommendations are going to be really helpful on your application. Your teachers and professors are going to have the chance to explain what you do, how you do in your life, how you do as a student, how do you perform in your classes, and how is your life like. So students are going to have a chance to get to know a teacher, and the teacher is going to have the chance to write a letter, and the letter is going to be able to talk for the student. So when you're going to choose a person for a letter of recommendation, make sure that the person that is going to write the letter of recommendation is going to be someone that you really know, and it's someone that is really going to be able to talk to you. Essays is also really important. It's the other part. Essays, I will say that you need to keep it honest all the time. When you are writing your essays, it's a really good idea for you to go and write it 3 or 4 times. Try to get your ideas clear and try to be as open and sincere as possible. Your essay is going to play a huge role on your application, so make sure that your essay includes everything that you want the university to know about you. If you like to play sport, if you like to help in the community, if you like to participate in the activities, make sure you include all the information so the university can read what you do, and they can also read what your dreams are. What do you want to do in your life? Why you are a good fit for the university? What do you want to accomplish from your school? If you're choosing a major in graphic design, why you're going for graphic design? And if you're going to graphic design, why is this university the right university for you, and how the university and you are a right fit? So include that information so the admission officer is going to be able to get to know you. The application fees, you have to pay application fees in some universities. Some other universities are not going to require application fees, but if you have to pay, make sure you include the payment of the application. This might be a check, this might be a deposit, this might be a bank transfer. So make sure you ask the university how they prefer to have the application fee paid, or if you can ask for a waiver for the application fee. A waiver is going to allow you not to pay for the application fee. Make sure that they have all the information ready so you can send either the payment or the waiver. And something that is really important, the transcripts from your school. Make sure you send all the information they ask for. Make sure you send all your scores. They may also ask for a company or institution to review your scores and to do an analysis. Some universities do it, so make sure you comply with their requirements and make sure you send everything on time. I highlighted here on time because on time means that the application needs to be there by the deadline. When you access the university website, they're going to have a deadline for application, and you're going to see different application deadlines. So when you access, make sure that you send your application on time. If your applications arrives to university later, then the application is not going to be taken into consideration because the application is going to be late. Let's say application deadline might be January the 15th. You need to submit your application before, so your application is going to be on time and they can read the application. Make sure you contact your shipper, your carrier, so they can tell you how long it takes to send the papers from your house to the university based on their address. They should give you a time frame 3, 5, 4, 6 days, and once you have the time frame, make sure you submit the papers with plenty of time so they can make it to the university without any delay. So once you have completed your application, you can also go ahead and apply for financial aid and finance your studies. The first step to do is to verify how much your family can pay towards your education. So your family can pay like full tuition and room and board. Most likely you're going to be good, you're not going to need any financial aid. But if your family needs to have financial aid, make sure that you understand the numbers and you realize how much they need to pay and how much the university needs to give you on scholarships. So let's say if you need to have $10,000, you need to have $10,000 in scholarships. Make sure if the university can actually give you a scholarship for those $10,000, and try to verify what are the procedures to apply for scholarship, and if you need to submit any other papers or any documentation to apply for scholarship. So if you're going to apply for financial aid, there might be a different requirement. There might be a different application. Make sure you submit all the papers that are going to help you to apply for the financial aid. Once you apply for financial aid, university should give you a response whether they give you the money or not, so you can study there. There are some options like the assistantship or the room assistant. Those are kind of employments you can get at university. Let's say you can be a room assistant. The room assistant means that you're going to be working in a residence hall, and in the residence hall you're going to be taking care of the bedrooms, you're going to be verifying everything is working properly. I can give you an example. You're going to verify the air conditioner and the heater is working properly. You're going to be able to notify the university if there is like a broken window or something like that. And as an exchange, you're going to receive a free room for the time you work as a room assistant. So make sure that you can also apply for any type of jobs in the university. They're going to help you lower the cost of the university. However, employment is not a source of funding. When you're going to the USA, you cannot consider employment as your principal or as the main way to pay for your studies. If you're going to the USA and you have the idea that you're going to work to pay for school, to pay for your books, to pay for your food, that's a wrong idea. You need to make sure you have the financial support from your parents and from the university so you can cover all the fees. If you get a job in the school later on, then you're going to have a chance to help your parents. But this one should not be the main source for funding when you're studying in the USA. So once you have step number 3, you're going to step number 4. Before going to step number 4, I would like to highlight in-state and out-of-state tuition. As I said before, I attended the University of North Alabama, and I took this information, all the information over here. I took it from petersons.com. It's a website where you can go and verify universities. And I want to explain in-state and out-of-state tuition. In-state and out-of-state is a system that the United States uses to provide students with support when they're going to the university. As you can see, North Alabama, the university is public. This means the university receives assistance from the state, and if you check in this little box, we have a difference on the price. It says in-state tuition and it's $6,990, and we have out-of-state tuition. Out-of-state is $13,980. So you can see there is like a difference in the amounts from $6,000, almost $7,000, to almost $14,000. This difference is because the students in this little box, which is in-state, they are receiving assistance from the state, but the people from out of state, they are not receiving any assistance, so their tuition is going to be higher. Let's give you an example. If you are a resident from Alabama and you're going to study in Alabama, you're going to receive in-state tuition because you are local from Alabama and you're going to live and study in Alabama. But if you are from Alabama and you're trying to study in California because you want to go to UCLA, then because you're not from California, so you're out of the state, you're going to pay the out-of-state tuition, which is $13,000. This one only applies for public universities. On the next box, I have the example of Harvard. So Harvard is a private one, as you can see here. So private means that all the fundings come from a student. So the in-state tuition and the out-of-state tuition is going to be the same. Almost $3,900 are going to be towards tuition. So in this case, the tuition is going to be the same. Why am I showing this information on this webinar? This is really important because you can also ask the university so they can give you an in-state tuition waiver. You can ask the university if they have this program, and you can apply for in-state tuition. In-state tuition means that you're going to be paying as a local, even if you are from a different country. So if the university can provide you this type of scholarship, you're going to be able to pay in-state tuition even though you are from Europe or you are from Africa or Asia. So ask the university, ask the international office if they can provide you with an assistantship or if they have any type of scholarship or program where students can pay in-state tuition. If they can do it, possibly you will have to fill one application and you will have to fill some requirements, and if you do it, then you will be able to get in-state tuition, and now it's going to equal saving a lot of money. So in-state and out-of-state tuition is right there, and the next step is apply for your visa. Once you are admitted to the university, you're going to be able to apply for a visa. That means you're ready to go on the plane and you can go to the USA. So applying for a visa, how does that work? So we have already completed the step number 1, the step number 2, and step number 3. Step number 1 is to research the options. So you choose the university. Option number 2 is apply for the university, complete the application, then you finance your studies, and now you are ready to go to the USA. So once the university has said, yes, Robin, we want you to come to University of North Alabama, they will send you papers to your house. They will send you a welcome letter, they will send you a welcome package, and they will send you a letter or a, let's say it's an official paper where it's called the I-20 document you have to take to the embassy. So once you have already been accepted to the university and you have the letter that says, hey Robin, you're going to the USA, then you can go ahead and go to the embassy, schedule your appointment, and you can ask for the visa. Don't forget, before going to the visa, you have to pay your service fee. The service fee has to be paid on the Homeland Security website, and then you have to go to the embassy. You have to ask your embassy, or you have to ask your consular office of the United States. You have to apply for the student visa. You have to fill a formula. You have to fill a document online, and then you have to schedule an appointment and go to the embassy and ask for the visa. You have to pay the fee. If I'm not mistaken, in Guatemala, the fee is $160. So you have to verify with the embassy what is the fee to apply for a visa. And once you go to the embassy, make sure that you go with all your documents. So whenever you're going to the embassy, you have to bring your passport. The passport is the document that you're going to use to travel. Make sure you have a valid passport. Make sure you bring your letter of welcome, the welcoming letter. This letter says your name, it says you're going to the university, and says you're going from this year to this year and what's the program you're going. Make sure you bring your financial documentation, where that explains that you have the money to pay for the university, or it says that you're going to have a scholarship that is going to cover all the expenses of the university. And also make sure you bring some other letters from your parents with the documents that they have at home. So bring all the documents to the embassy or consulate and answer all the questions. The interview is really quick. You shouldn't be concerned about it. Almost 90% of student visas are approved. So if you're applying for a student visa and you are already admitted to the university, you have a big possibility to be admitted to the USA and to have the visa. Make sure you answer the questions. The consular officer is going to ask you, why are you going to study in the USA? Why did you choose to go to North Alabama? Why didn't you go to Harvard, or why didn't you go to a different university? So the consular officer is going to ask you questions. Make sure you give them the answer. Well, I like this school because it's offering a major in engineering, and I really like to have engineering program. I'm going to California because it's a great state for me. I love the weather in California. It's offering me everything that I'm looking for. I also want to go for an internship. The officer is going to ask you for the date of your travel. You can stay. The officer have to be there by August the 12th, August the 14th. Answer all the questions and be honest to the officer. So the officer is going to ask you questions, and then he's going to approve the visa. He can also disapprove the visa for several reasons, but 90% of visas are approved. So you're going to get your visa, and then you're going to be able to go. So schedule your appointment, bring your documents, and answer all the questions. Be as honest as possible and answer all the questions they're going to be asking. Once you have the visa, you're going to be ready to go. So we move to step number 5, and step number 5 is prepare for departure. Step number 5 is the step that I like the most, because students get ready to go to the USA and study. As I said before, and as I said also here, is your biggest adventure. So get ready to go to the USA. Pack lightly, bring a picture of your family. Something that I really like to tell students about is about a picture of the family. Make sure you have something that is going to remember of them. Make sure you have memories with them, share with the family before coming, and also bring a picture. This one is going to help you stay in touch with them, and is going to feel close to the family. So also book your flight to the closest airport. The university is going to let you know what is the airport where you have to go, and then the university is going to pick you up from this airport and they will take you to campus. So make sure you book your flight to the closest airport and pack lightly. Just bring what you really need. Just really bring what you really need. In the USA, you're going to be able to buy new stuff. You're going to be able to get a lot of stuff. So make sure you only bring stuff that you really need on your bag. Make sure you confirm with the airline. If I'm not mistaken, they give you only one bag to give in the plane, and you have also one carry-on and one personal item. If I'm not mistaken, the airline is going to give you only 50 pounds. So you want to make sure you bring only the things you need. And if you want to buy some other stuff, you can buy it in the USA. So if you want to buy in the USA, you can also bring money and buy in the USA. Let's say you're trying to buy a new computer, you can get like a really good deal in the USA for the computer, and it's going to save you weight when you're coming here. So once you get here to the USA, what should you be expecting? Just get ready for a new life. People is going to be friendly. People is going to be very polite. They will want to know about you. They will want to know about your country. They will ask you questions. Let's say you're from Pakistan. They will want to know how is Pakistan life, how it's life in Pakistan, how do you live in Pakistan, what do you eat. They will ask you questions. So be open to answer all those questions. Also, you're going to meet people from different places, so they're also going to be sharing with you experiences from their countries. You're going to meet people from all over the world, so don't worry about sharing your experience. Everyone is going to have a culture to share with you, so be friendly and be polite. And as they are going to be asking for questions, make sure you also ask questions so you can make new friends and stay open to new ideas and cultures. Make a lot of friends. It's going to help you a lot. Once you get to the USA, you're going to have people from everywhere. Your friends are going to be from everywhere, from Colombia, from Costa Rica. You're going to have people from Brazil, from Europe, people from Italy, people from Switzerland. Let's say you're going to be able to know people from France, from Africa, from South Africa, Senegal, Portugal, people from Japan, from China, Kazakhstan. So there's a lot of countries. There are a lot of countries in the USA, and you're going to be able to meet people from everywhere. So make sure you're open to the cultures. Make sure you learn from them, and make sure you share your ideas and you share your cultures. There is something that I don't really like to talk about, which is getting homesick, but it's something that students need to be ready for. Being homesick is when you really miss home. And what happens is that you are in your house and you have your bed and you want to go to sleep, and you have your dog and you have your mom and your dad, and you really miss your mom and your dad. Everything in the USA is different than what you've been used to. You see everything is like the food is different, you see the transportation is different, you see the environment is different. So make sure you stay in touch with your family. You can make phone calls, you can also use Skype. This is going to help you a lot to stay in touch with your family and with your friends. You can talk to mom, you can talk to dad online, you can look at them on the computer. Talk to your friends, also talk to your advisor about your feelings, and share your culture. Sometimes you might feel afraid of sharing what you feel. You may say like, I feel lonely and I don't want to share what I feel because I feel bad. Just go ahead and talk to your friends, talk to your advisor, and they will find a way to make you feel better. When I was studying in Alabama, I remember on the first days, I told my advisor that I was feeling alone and I really miss mom. And she told me, well, you should go ahead and you should go shopping. That was her advice. Whenever you feel sad, whenever you feel lonely, you can go ahead and you can go shopping. This was going to help you a lot, and that's what I did. So I think we have some questions here. I'm going to go ahead and read the questions so you can have the answers. It says, hi, I have a student loan to pay back from my last bachelor's associate course in England. Will I be eligible for funds to help me study abroad in the USA? Well, this is a question you have to ask with the universities. If you have a loan in the UK, this is a different system, it's a different bank. You can apply for a scholarship in a university for sure. I will suggest you to contact Education USA. You can go to educationusa.state.gov and you can locate the closest Education USA advising center. You can study in the United States and you can get a scholarship. Most of the students get scholarships that you don't have to pay back. So if you have a scholarship and you don't have to pay the scholarship back, then you're going to be able to study, we can say almost for free, because the students that get scholarships you don't have to pay back, actually they are receiving like a grant, which is really good. So we have a question from Diego Garminio. I really thank Diego for his question. It says, where can I find scholarships or loans if I'm Mexican? If you are Mexican, if you are from Mexico and living in Mexico, you can go to Education USA. We have, I think it's like 12 or 13 advising centers in Mexico. We have in Mexico City, we have in Monterrey, and we have in different cities. So I will suggest you to go to Education USA on Mexico so they can tell you exactly what scholarships are for you. Also, you can go to the university websites and you can see what scholarships they offer for Mexicans. There is one program in Latin America that is called the Good Neighbor. There are some schools in New Mexico and in Texas that they offer you the Good Neighbor program. This new Good Neighbor program is going to give you the chance to pay in-state tuition. So this one is going to lower your cost really good. And as far as they know, the requirements are to be living and a resident from one country from Latin America, except Cuba and Venezuela. So if you're Mexican, you apply and have a good GPA. So if you have those scores, you can apply for those programs. And you can also ask your Education USA advisor from programs from Mexico and from the USA. And of course, all the scholarships from the universities that are targeting international students apply for Mexican students as well. I have a student asking for, I would like to do medicine. If you're going for a medicine program in the USA, it's a graduate program. So the first thing you will have to do is go for undergraduate level. That could be a biology program, and then you can go for a medical school. It's a long process, and we can help you in Education USA to understand the process, but it takes a long time. So I have another question from Camila Fritas. She's asking me, if she's a student, can I get a worker visa? This question is actually a little bit complicated to answer. What happened, Camila, is that when you get your student visa, it's an F1 visa. You are allowed to work only for 20 hours a week after the first year. So if you're going to work as a student, you're only going to be able to work after 1 year of being in the university, and you're only going to be able to work 20 hours a week. Those 20 hours are going to be able to cover for some fees. Let's say you can cover for food, you can cover for your room, and you can cover some expenses. But it's not like the main, it's not going to be like the main source of funding for you if you're studying in the USA. I have another question. And it's from Mikola. Let me answer. Hi, is it true that you are more likely to be admitted if you apply on an early action than on a regular action? It really depends, Mikola. If you're applying for early action, you need to be aware that early action means that you're going to that university. So if you get admitted to that university, you have to go to that university. That's the commitment if you're applying for early action. But if you go in for early action, the application is going to be more competitive. So you need to make sure your application meets all the requirements that they're asking for early action, and that you have a really competitive profile in order to apply for scholarships and in order to apply for admissions. Early action gives you a good chance to be admitted, but you really need to be really competitive. So make sure you understand your chances, and I will say yes. I will say yes, early action is a good choice. You can go for early action and apply for a university. You're going to have a good chance. But make sure your early action is your number one choice university in the USA. So I have the questions from Diego Gaminio. Hey, I'm sorry, I lost my internet connection. That happens sometimes. And I didn't hear the important part. Just hear that there are programs too required to be good GPA and don't know what else. Okay, yes, Diego. What happened is there are some programs for Latin American students in the USA. Those programs are called the Good Neighbor program. The Good Neighbor program works the following way. If you are a resident from any country in Latin America, except Cuba and Venezuela, you can apply for in-state waiver. That means that you're going to be paying the tuition that a local student pays in the university. What you need to do is have like a good GPA and be a resident from one of the countries in Latin America. So you can ask the university. I think this program is available in New Mexico, and I think it's available in Texas. I think California also offers the program. So you can also ask about this program with the universities and see if they can help you. I will also suggest you to go to Education USA. We have 13 advisors in Mexico. You can go and talk to them because Mexico also has scholarships from the Mexican government. You can ask what scholarships they have and how they can help you apply. And if I'm not mistaken, there are some universities in Texas that also offers programs for Mexican students, so you can have a chance over there. Okay, so I have another question. It says that you told me, people guy for medicine study. I'm India doing medical stream in grade 12 school. What do I do next? Show me the path. Well, for medical school in the USA is a graduate program. In order to go into medical school, you need to have a bachelor's degree. That's a must. So if you have a bachelor's degree, then you can go to the medical school. What we normally do in Education USA is advise students to get a bachelor's degree in their country, and then they can apply for residency in the USA. But you can, of course, you can also go for the pre-med school in the USA, which is the bachelor's, and then move to the next step, which is medical school. In India, we have a lot of advising centers, so I will suggest you to go ahead and talk to Education USA so we can give you the path. In this webinar, we have like a really short time in order to explain the process, but of course, Education USA advisors in India can help you get on that process to stand in the USA, and I'm pretty sure you're going to be able to get on that process to go for medical school. So I have another question. I have a bachelor's associate in illustration, Bachelor of Arts. Will I be able to take another undergraduate course in something similar, as I want to better grade and teach my subject? Thanks, Callum. Thank you for your question, Callum. You can do that. You can go ahead and talk to the school, and you can tell them you have an undergraduate level, and you can ask them. Possibly they're going to be able to validate your credits, and this one is going to help you to have an undergraduate level that is going to be shorter in order to apply. Or you can also go ahead and take a short course, so you can take specialized classes on your field, and then you can be a better teacher of your major. So I will suggest you the first thing to do is to go ahead and talk to the university. If your bachelor's degree that you have is from the USA, I will suggest you to talk to the same university so they can help you and schedule a program that you're going to be able to develop a new career with less than 4 years, because you have a lot of core courses that are going to be already approved. So if you guys have any other questions, I will be able to answer more questions. We have a few minutes. Or we can also retake the presentation as we finish. So the last step is being homesick. Stay in touch with your family. Make phone calls, Skype. I will also say to get presents to your family as soon as you go back to your home country. Make sure you get presents. Make sure you get like key rings, you get flyers, you get stuff from the USA, and this one is going to help you a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and access the website educationusa.state.gov. I have a question from India, and he's living in a village. Let me go ahead and try to see if I can get on the website and locate an Education USA Advising Center near your country. Okay, so if you have any other questions, please make sure you type the questions on the question box, and I'll be happy to answer all the questions. Okay, the website is educationusa.state.gov, and you can go ahead and just look on the option where it says for international students, and click where it says find an advising center. For India, let me check India. We have advising centers in India. We have one in Bangalore, we have one in Chennai, we have one in Kolkata, we have one in Mumbai, and we have one in New Delhi. And we also have one advising center in Ahmedabad, and we have one in Hyderabad. So if you can send me a private message, I will be able to share with you the website where you can find information. If Diego is still online, I will be able to share with Diego the centers in Mexico. So let me check Mexico, where he's been asking. We have several advising centers in Mexico. So for Mexico, we have advising centers in Chihuahua, we have in Guadalajara, we have in Mexico City, we also have in Monterrey, Morelia, Saltillo, we also have in Hermosillo, we have advising center in Tijuana, we have in Cuernavaca, Mexicali, San Luis Potosí, and Jalapa. So if Diego is still online, I will be able to also give you the link with the information where you can find Education USA. Alright, so I have Mr. Manreed online. The link, if you can send me a private message. Let me see if I can. I think I have a white slide over here. I'm going to be able to add the link for. I'm going for the one in Mexico first. So please let me know if you can actually copy the link. Let me see if that works. I just want to make sure. Okay. So for Mexico, the link is over here, and I'm going to work on the link from India right now. Okay, here we go. We have the one for India. So if you are in India, you can go to educationusa.info/India, and you're going to be able to find information right there. If you are away from the Education USA Center, I will suggest you to go ahead and look for their email or look for their Facebook or Twitter account and email them or inbox them on Twitter or Facebook, and they're going to be able to give you information online. Now I have another question. My name is Gavi and I'm studying psychology in Spain, and I would like to do a master's degree in the United States. I want to ask, while applying to university, is more important to have a great grades? Also consider your personal skills, motivation, recommendation letters, and so on. Thank you. Yes, Gavi, if you're applying for a master's degree in USA, make sure that you have experience as a work experience, and you also have to have community service, and you have to have extracurricular activities. So if you're going to the USA, you have to have good grades, you have to have your bachelor's degree, you also have to have a reason why you want to go into the master's degree, and you have to have community service, and you have to have extracurricular activities. Let's say in psychology, I'm pretty sure you have a specific reason why you want to go into psychology. So make sure when you when you write your essay, that you determine why those reasons are met in the university you're choosing. When you're choosing a master's degree, make sure that you explain to the university why you want to go to that university, and what is your program like, what do you want to be there, and what is your job like. If you're working in a project in psychology, possibly you're working with children, or possibly you're working in a different project with people, try to explain how this university is going to help you fulfill your career. And of course, if you're being a volunteer, it's going to help you a lot. If you are working with any type of students or any type of people, make sure you include that information on your essay. Possibly you're going to be taking the GRE exams. If you are taking the GRE, make sure you also have the grade that they're looking for. And if you're able to get extracurricular activities and work experience, I will say if you have any other training on psychology, that's also going to help you a lot. I will suggest you also to reach Education USA Center in Spain, which I'm going to find the link right now, so they can give you a further advice and information on that one. But basically, for master's degree, if you're looking for scholarship, I will also suggest you to get in touch with the teachers. It's going to help you a lot. Try to make sure you talk to the professors you want to work with, and try to share with them what you're doing in Spain, how you're working in psychology, and how you're developing your program by yourself, and try to explain to them what you really want to do so they can get to know you. Possibly you have a chance to work as a teacher, or you're going to have a chance to work as a teacher assistant or as a research assistant, and this one is going to help you a lot when applying to universities. Make sure the professors in that university know you and know your work, so you have an extra chance. We have one advising center in Spain, and this one is in Madrid, so I will give you the information right here, so you can go ahead and log in right there. Okay, I have a J1 visa. Is there an option to extend the length of it? If my course is longer than 3 years, if I take the internship in the States, can I change it to stay? J1 visas are for students who are in a program that is sponsored by the US Department of State. So if you are in a J1 visa, I don't think you have a chance to get your stay longer than what is expected to be. I will say if you are going on a J1, what you have to do is comply with the program and come back to the USA, to your country, I'm sorry. You can also try to talk to your advisors, try to talk to the people in the embassy, and try to talk to the people in Washington, D.C.